I apologize for two things up front. First of all, I have to read a prepared statement. I'm required to do that. I can't commit it to memory. I'm not that smart, so I'll have to read it. And second, I apologize for mispronouncing any names when I call folks up to speak. Okay, we'll go ahead and begin. Good afternoon. My name is Randy Nichols. I'm the retired Chief of Police from Greenville, North Carolina. I'm also the leader of the CALEA team that is assessing the Ottawa Police Department over the next few days. I'd like to introduce the other member of the assessment team. To my left is Lieutenant Damon Johnson of the Muncie, Indiana Police Department. We are law enforcement practitioners from other states. We've been authorized by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies Incorporated to assess the Ottawa Police Department, which is a candidate for law enforcement re-accreditation. This agency has voluntarily contracted with the Commission on Accreditation with Law Enforcement Agencies to work toward re-accreditation and thereby demonstrate its continued professional excellence. When the agency entered this process, it received the Commission's Standards Manual, which contains 189 standards encompassing all facets of law enforcement management, operations, and support functions. The agency's proofs of compliance are on file at the Ottawa Police Department. Our responsibility as assessors for the Commission on Accreditation is to visit this agency and verify that it has remained in compliance with all applicable standards. Chief Adam Weingartner has appointed Lieutenant Bobby Hawkins as Accreditation Manager to oversee the accreditation process for this agency. In accordance with the Commission's Public Information Policy, the agency candidacy for reaccreditation has been publicized in this area, and the agency has arranged for this public hearing. The public hearing is intended to provide interested citizens or employees of the agency an opportunity to address this assessment team concerning the agency. Any comments that you make will be considered by us as we review the agency and will also be reported back to the Commission. If you wish to supplement your verbal comments with written statements or exhibits, you may present them to our team at the time you speak, or you may send them to the Commission where they will be reviewed when the agency is presented for reaccreditation at a formal Commission hearing. You may mail your written remarks to the Commission at the following address, and I'll have this after the meeting if you wish. The Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies Incorporated, 13575 Heathcote Boulevard, Suite 320, Gainesville, Virginia, 20155. At the beginning of this meeting, a sign-in sheet was made available at the rear of this room. Those of you who indicated a desire to speak will be given that opportunity to address us in a few moments. If you wish to speak with any member of the Commission and staff, you may reach them by telephone at area code 703-352-4225. The Commission's staff representative for this agency is Tim Basinger. You may also email your comments to CALEA at CALEA, that's C-A-L-E-A, at CALEA.org, putting this agency's name in the subject line. I'd like to remind you that this meeting is being recorded on video, and the recording will be made available to the Commission for its review. Now, are there any questions from members of the audience that we can answer before we begin? Okay, if not, I'd like to go down the list and call the speakers up. First speaker, Robert Greenfield.
I'm a retired business person from Ottawa. I was in practice as an accountant for 30 years. And also during that time, I've been a member of the Ottawa Police Foundation for the last 10 years. And during this time period, I've seen what it takes to have the accreditation process begin and become in place. And I realized how significant a process that was for the department. I've known the prior police chief, Dennis Butler. I know he was very serious about the accreditation and felt like it was a very important thing for the department to pursue. As a member of the foundation, we've assisted the department in helping pay for some of the accreditation fees and the processes, also helped with the acquisition of the software that's used for the updating and maintaining the policies. And I felt like during this time period, I've seen quite a change in how the department addresses issues related to occurrences in Ottawa. I feel like they've improved in that way, in the way they handle that, and in all of my interactions with the department, whether it's a traffic stop or whatever happened, I felt like it was always dealt with in an extremely professional manner. And I'm proud to be a member of the board of directors of the Ottawa Police Foundation and have my name affiliated with the department.
Thank you, sir. Richard Neistat.
You got that perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, I have 40 years of public management experience, and this is the first city that I've been in that we were CALEA certified. And when former Chief Butler, approached me with the idea, I was very enthusiastic about that because it has been something that I've looked at with a couple of other departments in my career, that we've talked about at the International City Management Association level and at conferences, and I felt that I knew what the benefits of the process would be for our department, and I have never been disappointed. It was the right thing to do, and the City Commission supported that effort, and I supported that effort, and Chief Butler certainly worked very hard to get have the department understand what the benefits were. And like Bob said, we have always been we have been a professional department under Chief Butler. There were a lot of new things done, training and policies, but what this helped to do was kick it up to another level, and you can tell the difference in our officers and our new officers in how we handle things. I believe that if the community were to speak, you would see that they can notice a difference. They are good people. They want to do the right thing, and what CALEA helps us do is to go back, reflect, and talk about how we handle things and how we look at things going forward. So it gives us a process that we're always continually tweaking so that we can be the most professional department we have. And under Chief Weingartner's leadership, we will continue that and continue to be to have CALEA want us to be one of the certified departments. So I will leave you with some written comments that I have, and I want to thank you both for coming out and conducting this public hearing.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your comment. Thank you. See, Janet Peters.
Thank you very much. Like Bob Greenfield, I'm a member of the Ottawa Police Foundation, and our foundation's mission is to support the Ottawa Police Department in ways that may be off budget by doing fundraising and by doing events. And I have found that since we've been accredited, our fundraising has grown, our events are more attended, and I think that kind of speaks to the community support and the public perception of what is happening and their regard for the Ottawa Police Department's professionalism and their level of operations. Last year was our best fundraising year ever. We achieved a large grant from a national foundation, and that was achieved because the branch manager of the entity that was the local representative of that foundation saw what was happening here, appreciated the accreditation, appreciated what former Chief Butler and Chief Weingartner do, and went to his entity and said, this is what I want to support in this community, and we were able to achieve that grant with Chief Butler and Chief Weingartner's work. So I think that the foundation is seeing that the public is supporting what the Ottawa Police Foundation is doing and what CALEA means. And I would second everything that Bob said, and that I'm also proud to be affiliated with the Ottawa Police Department. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mike Skidmore.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good
First of all,
afternoon.
welcome to Ottawa. Thanks for being here. We appreciate very much your presence and what this means to us. I'm currently serving as a commissioner for the city, former mayor, and also work in a local bank. With regard to the bank, I'm thinking that I appreciate too that the accreditation is not just a one-time stamp and forever designated that way. I appreciate the fact that you have a continuation needed. I think in the bank too, we have examinations every 18 months, and although I don't particularly care for that week each 18 months or 2 years we have an examination, it's necessary for the upkeep and for the just to hold the credence of the community with regard to the strength of the bank. And we get a good rating, that's good news, but we can't just sit on that, rest on our laurels and keep that way. We've got to continually work toward keeping that rating high. And with our police department, I see is no different. We need to continue to work and continue to make it better and better. When Chief Butler first brought this up, I really felt like initially, why do you want to do this to yourself? But that's just the way he is, his DNA, and I believe Chief Weingartner is the same way. By raising your standard painfully higher is a good thing for anyone to attain and work toward. The status quo is just not a part of your vocabulary, and I think it's a very important thing to keep in mind. One of the things that the police department I appreciate very much is their VIPS program. It's the Volunteers in Policing. This is a group of about 20 volunteers. They spend many hours going up and down the streets after hours closing to make sure the doors are locked. They'll volunteer for different festivals in town, be the eyes and the ears of the police around town. They even have people that volunteer to shred for the headquarters, and it's sometimes a menial task, but it's still somebody has to do that. And after a complete year of analysis, we've determined that saves us about one full-time equivalent employee. And of course, that goes to the bottom line, our city budget, and that's what our taxpayers always want to make sure that we're spending our money efficiently and keeping the cost to a minimum, our taxes to a minimum. And so I appreciate very much that the police department had the creativity to start this VIPS program several years ago. And they also do IdentiKid program for seniors, a McGruff program, DARE Camp, and so many other things that go on with our police department. We're very thankful that they do that. Years past, we've had some police officers in different communities, not here, but around the country, haven't been in great favor with the public. And there's something that has to be said about the relationship, I think, with the public and the police department that can mend those tensions sometimes. And I think with these programs we have here, I feel very good about keeping it going. I just wanted to say, too, that I strongly support the police department, all they do. The professionalism, I heard that word several times up here, and I truly feel like Chief Butler and now Chief Weingartner will continue on that professionalism. That's something that's so critically important in that occupation. But anyway, I hope you will consider there's comments today and also keep the status of the continuation as well. And I've got prepared statements too I'll hand to you if that's okay.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, is there another list? Thank you. Kevin James.
Hello, I'm a local business owner here in Ottawa. I was asked to serve on the VIPS about 5 years ago. They asked me, and I've been a part of that, and I feel very honored to be part of the police department here in town. They treat us like all the other officers, and we do a lot of parades, and we help with DARE, we help with McGruff, parades, runs, all kinds of stuff they ask us to do. And we had a bike rodeo last weekend at the city park to help with the Optimist Club, their benefit. But I'm just speaking in honor of the VIPs, and I think we have a great department, and I think they're really wanting to work with the public. And like some of the other comments has been made, is I can see a big change in the attitude towards the public, towards the police department with that interaction, and got to see quite a bit of that Saturday at the bike rodeo. They had a couple officers there, and one of the sergeants was there, and it was nice to see people come up and just felt relaxed to talk to the officers. But thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you for your comments, sir. Okay, that is all the names I have on the list that signed up to speak. This time, is there anyone else that has come in or not signed up that would like to come up and speak? Feel free to do so. I see a couple of faces out there of folks that haven't spoken. Okay, before we close the hearing, I'd like to ask the chief, is there anyone else that you want us to wait for, or?
There is no one else that I know of.
Okay. Okay, then at this time, we like to thank everybody for coming. Thank those who made comments and provided comments. We'll take these in consideration. We'll forward all this information to the commission, and we'll write our report. And again, we thank you for coming and your comments, and we'll declare this public hearing closed. Thank you again.